Congratulations for making a great decision. You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, coming to you as always from our great studios. And we have an outstanding guest. That's why I want to congratulate you. I can sit and listen to Lou Anarumo talk defense, the defensive side of football, forever. The guy is Mensa in terms of defense, and his players are responding to everything that he puts out there from a game plan standpoint. You know you have a great coach when players are like, can't wait for Wednesday, man. What's Lou going to have for us this week? How are we going to try to exploit this offensive football team with our defense? How about the red zone defense that they played against the Seattle Seahawks? 5 red zone opportunities, 1 touchdown, 1 field goal, interception in the red zone, and twice stopped them on downs. 5 red zone possessions, 10 measly points, 2 points per possession. Bengals went 2 for 2 in the red zone, touchdowns. That was the difference in the football game. But the defense won this football game. And we're going to hear Lou Anarumo tell you why. Welcome once again to In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. And we are coming to you from our studios, as we always do, with a star. I'm telling you, you know, the stars of the game, players, they're always, players are stars of the game. There's a star of the game also from a coaching standpoint, and this guy did it again. Yep. A couple of days ago, we were doing a radio show together, and I said, I have a publisher lined up. We're going to do a book. Lou Anarumo is going to author a book, Red Zone Defense by Lou Anarumo, how to get it done in the red zone and the low red zone. That was the story of the football game, Coach. I mean, man, 5 possessions in the red zone by an NFL team, a good offensive football team, and they come up with 10 points, 2 points per possession, a touchdown, a field goal, interception, stop them twice on downs to win a football game. Amazing.
Well, I appreciate that, Laugh. It was a great effort by everybody. Man, the players really executed down there, and we wanted them not to get down there a couple times, but yeah, we did well, and the guys executed the plan to a T. It was great.
What's the biggest key to red zone success? Is there one, or is it multiple things? What do you have to do right?
Well, you try not to let them run it in, and you want to present some fronts that allow, to give you your best opportunity to not let them do that, and then, and then get them into those downs where they're going to throw it, and then we can, put the coverages where we think they need to go based on the team we're playing.
Man, I'll tell you, you call your defensive front 4 the core 4, the guys that give you the preponderance of snaps. And boy, they played a ton of snaps. Your big 4. There's no doubt about that. Talk about what they gave you during the course of that football game in terms of effort, number of snaps, and then particularly down the stretch. And you basically laid it out there. You said, hey, let's go win this football game. I'm playing you guys. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their snaps. I think Sam had the most in the 60s. He is really up there, and with all his production, and DJ was up in the 50s, and BJ, and certainly Trey, and so when it came down to the end of the game, although they had kind of exhausted their fuel tanks, I went over to him before the last drive, and I just said, you 4 are going out there, and not that they didn't want to, trust me.
Right.
But they were a little bit tired, and they gave us everything they had, and I was so proud of them, not just them, but everybody. But I wouldn't want 4 of the guys out there at the same time running the games the way they did together, and BJ and Sam setting up that last critical 4th down hit on the quarterback, which got the ball out. We win the game. So it was a great example of rush and coverage working together on some of those snaps, and was very proud of everybody.
Pro Football Focus numbers are out, and Sam and BJ Hill 6 pressures each. Reeder and Hendrickson 5 pressures each. Cam Sample 12 pass rushes, 3 pressures, including a quarterback sack. I mean, really get after it up front as a defensive unit. They were teeing off, weren't they, Coach?
Yeah, they got after them, and just as I said, just working together in a coordinated. Coach Hobb does a great job with those guys, just coordinating the rushes and making sure we're doing the right thing, because Geno can get out and run. So we not only do we not allow that, we also collapse the pocket and we're able to get him on the ground too.
Red zone in the second half, 4 possessions in the second half. I counted 16 snaps, the snaps that didn't count because of penalty, but I mean, there was some action on those snaps as well. But 16 snaps, 18 yards total on those 16 snaps in the red zone, 3 points, an interception, stopped him twice on 4th down. That's crazy, Coach. 16 snaps in the red zone in the second half? Are you kidding me? And rising up like you guys did, snap after snap, that is big time.
Yeah, again, as I mentioned, I think it was just everybody having a great feel of what we needed to do, who the primary targets were. Don't let 9 run the ball in, and just coordinating some of the things that they did well, and trying to make sure that if they were going to beat us, they were going to beat us with their 3rd and 4th option, not their 1st and 2nd.
So talk about your Monday ceremony a little bit, Coach. We're in the defensive meeting room. You have a ceremony with the bricks, and take us through that, and how's that pyramid forming for you right now?
Yeah, well, we always start it with we started it last year, and we started with a couple big cinder blocks, and we put the opponent's logo on the brick, and then kind of the players of the game will stack the bricks, and after a win, and just kind of forming the foundation. We started with a block in the middle after training camp. That's always the first one, and then we kind of build from there after victories. And like I said, it's usually the guy or two that had a huge impact. Well, we had BJ, DJ, Trey, and Sam, all 4 of them carry that brick up and kind of lock it into place. So we feel like we got a good foundation going.
I like that one, Coach. You have one. The first brick is basically the player that gave you the most during training camp. Is that how that one works?
Kind of symbolize it, or a little bit of everything involved in that one. It could be just a veteran guy or a young guy that's done well. But knowing myself, it, generally speaking, will be an older guy.
So I'll tell you, Taylor Britt, 2 interceptions in the last 2 football games. And that's the thing. I mean, Dobbs and this quarterback, I mean, they had thrown combined 1 interception. 1. And Dobbs hadn't thrown one all year, and you get 2 off of him, and you get 2 in this football game against Seattle. I mean, 4 interceptions against quarterbacks that going into your game had thrown one total combined. And Taylor Britt, 2 huge interceptions. The one for the pick 6 was the turning point in that football game. And then this one where he diving interception, gets up, returns it 24 yards, 2.5 first downs. The offense doesn't have to worry about. Good thing, because 3 incompletions. I mean, they didn't get an inch, have to get a 52-yard field goal. Taylor Britt's been massive in these 2 games, hasn't he?
Well, Cam's the ultimate competitor, and ever since he got here last year, he's always shown that. He's shown a grit, a toughness that you can't coach, and and that along with all his God-given ability, and man, he's just he accepts the challenge of covering some of these elite receivers, and he's done a terrific job, and he just keeps getting better.
Thing about him, you shake his hand, he's got a big old mucker on him now. I mean, it's like from little tip of the little finger to the thumb. I mean, he's got a big hand. When the ball is in the air, his ball skills are phenomenal with those big suction cup hands he has. Then you have other defensive backs with really long arms, rangy. You've got some guys in the back end, young guys that have serious physical traits.
Oh, there's no doubt. And as I mentioned, they, along with Cam, DJ Turner, and they're all improving each week, and that we're going to need those guys to be at their best coming back off the bye with some of the great teams we're about to play.
Coach, I know you have just a limitless number of things that you can do in terms of installation of concepts and adjustments and blitz packages and pressure packages. Are the young guys showing you that, hey, coach, go ahead, I'll get up to speed, I can handle it? I know when young players are obviously going to make some mistakes, you have to work through those, but are they pretty good on with regard to consuming and understanding all that stuff?
They continue to improve. I think that the peer pressure of the other 9 guys that have been here, of the standard being that this is kind of how we operate around here, and you've got to conform or the train will keep moving type of approach. And so we force fed those guys a lot of different things, and you just can't do one thing in this league. That offenses are too good, and so I feel like they've been able to handle what we've thrown at them so far.
I know players are off, but the coaches are still working. Got some work to do. I know you're doing some self scouting, and when you're breaking things down, giving a critical eye to your defensive performance at this stage of the season, what do you like most?
I like how we're getting after the quarterback for sure. I like how we're taking the ball away. I think that that's important. Obviously, we've been able to get, as you just saw, play some pretty good red zone defense.
Yeah.
Going to keep that going. And then I think the things that we need to improve. Obviously, we did improve our tackling this past week, back to a number that is acceptable for us. Anytime you're in the 4 or 5 missed tackle day, you don't want to miss any, but that's not reality. So if we can be in the 4 or 5s, we'll take that. And then just more consistency. Those would be the things that we need to. We can't have a bad stretch. Seattle comes out and walks right down the field. We can't have that. So the players know that, and it's a tweak here or there, and coming out of the bye, we'll be better for it.
Man, you talk about shutting a team down after that first drive, though. It's like, oh, man. I could tell you weren't real happy, Coach. You were coming off that sideline and greeting players as they were coming off the field after that first drive. I'm sure you had some things that you wanted to talk about, and certainly the players were listening. There's no doubt. That's the thing that impresses me is, the players are so close. The coaches are so close. The players are close with the coaches, and just every level of it is nobody wants to let the other guy down, and that's going to take you a long way. There's no question. Okay, Coach, it's bye week. When you do get some time, what's in store for Lou Anarumo here during the bye week? What's the itinerary look like?
I think we're heading down to our annual trip down to over to Morgantown, West Virginia, to see my son, who's a junior over there, and so we'll be down there this weekend. Yeah,
catching a little college football action, huh?
I will be in the stands as a fan. I think we're playing Oklahoma State, so we'll see. But I get a chance to see my son, and that's what's most important.
So how's he? Is he enjoying his experience?
He loves it there. Yeah, maybe too much. I got to check in on him too. That's another reason to go.
So when you're watching, when you're in the stands, you have a coaching eye, or are you just watching it as a fan? How do you observe a game like that?
I'm just trying not to get beer spilled on me, so I just sit there quiet and watch the game.
It's good stuff. A quick question or two. I know you're in the early stages and very early stages of breaking down the San Francisco 49ers, but your next opponent after the bye week, they've got a Monday night game, and then you guys travel out there and play them. They have a short week, and you've got the West Coast trip. You can make arguments as to whatever, but it's a good opponent. There's no question about that. Give us a couple of things that have struck you about the 49ers when you've looked at the initial stages of tape here?
Well, they've always been able, Kyle does a great job of managing the game, calling the game. They have elite players at a number of positions, the running back, the left tackle, the receiver, the tight end, so there's guys everywhere, and the quarterback is really playing at a high level as well. So, they challenge you on all levels of the defense, and their scheme is outstanding. They really do a great job that way, and you had a good scheme, good players, and there's a reason why they've won a ton of games over the last few years, and they're certainly outstanding. And we'll look back on some of the things that we did a few years back, and I'm sure they will too. But it'll be a great challenge, but we're looking forward to it.
I watching them over the years with Coach Shanahan, his running game has got a lot of sophistication to it. I mean, it's a very challenging run game that he has, isn't it?
Well, it is, and they say imitation is when people imitate you, what you're doing there. It's a greatest form of flattery. Well, a lot of teams across the league have kind of taken elements of what they have done, and you can see versions of their run game, smattered around the league now. And so yeah, he does a terrific job. And the way they scheme each team is a little bit different, but they do have their core runs. And as I mentioned, then go ahead and put one of the best running backs in the league behind that good offensive line, and in that scheme, there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing.
Right, and he's leading the league in rushing, McCaffrey. But I think Seattle is a good indicator. I think their running game reminds me a little bit of what they've taken some of the San Francisco concepts and adopted that, haven't they?
100%. Yeah, yes, 100% they did.
That's good. I guess face that before have to go face the originator. San Francisco 49ers. Get a little bit of a taste before you get the full meal, I guess. Coach, can't thank you enough for sharing time with us. And as always, I know when a great coach is involved, when players respond and they show the energy, the enthusiasm, they're where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. And there's no doubt that every single player in your locker room loves you, Coach. And that's what it's all about.
Well, I appreciate that. I hope so. We got a great thing going here, and the coaches, as you mentioned, the players from Zach on down, everybody wants and has one goal, and that's to come out and win these games and do it the right way. And, we'll keep getting better as we go through it.
Yeah. And finally, I mean, it's like, okay, have not put a game together where offense, defense, special teams, all three phases clicking at a high level in the same game, and still 3-3 and played some pretty good football teams. Tells me there's still meat on the bone. And man, when it happens, look out, NFL, here come the Bengals.
Looking forward to that.
I hear that, sir. Have a great bye week. And thanks as always for your willingness to join us as regularly as you do, sir.
No problem. Thanks a lot.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.